forgot. I have it today. True. Mm-hmm.
How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual... Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA.
Yep.
The light is working good, so what I'm gonna do is this is just where it goes, and I just go to Brian Smart and get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna wait for this.
Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your fur style.
Cool.
Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick your main color. Choose your detail. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick your main. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick your main color. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Command Deadeye. Commando. Sent Deadeye. Commando. Psy-Freak. Deadeye. Commando. Psy-Freak. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Deadeye. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Commando. Deadeye. Command. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Commando. Command. Deadeye. Commando. Deadeye. Command. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Freak.
I don't know which one to do.
Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Psy-Freak chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and bright side of you, or your inner voice to be precise. An echo of balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
That's right. Light is only for those having difficulty seeing what's in front of them. Sticking to the me first path is the only way we'll be going places.
I'm surprised at the change of heart. I believe in putting yourself aside to help others, but helping the dark side is not that, you know.
Alright, I'm gonna take my table out.
You can't fight who you really are. The blood is obviously running red in our veins.
You're trying to keep us in the dark here, but you know it's blue blood in our veins and what it means. We have responsibilities. You can't fight the truth.
Bathroom been doing okay?
Yep. Holy!
I'm not even using the straw like I used to do. Time to fall that extra apple you get in.
Right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the Predator only grew stronger.
Oh, shit.
Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story.
Hello, good sir. Nothing much. Just chilling and relaxing. Came back home not too long ago. What? 6 o'clock?
This time,
It's a Tuesday. I should have been home a lot earlier. But no, I came home around like 5:30, but I was doing stuff. Then I fired up my game and popped on a party chat. I'm assuming you already did the story in Final Fantasy. Tell me how awesome it is. Because I'm assuming we're going to fight you know who. Oh yeah, dialogue. You need to remember the past. Here we go again. Okay. Take a bite of some steak and then back to exploring. I don't like how this place looks.
The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die.
What?
Better hold on to that. Hand up, further you go. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Your energy is empty. Just what you were looking for.
Thank you, dead man. Or thing, creature. Awesome. Was it long? So, no. Cool. So, instance fight? Instance fight. We would normally say if it was with you, with other people, we'd say a trial. That's if it's a dungeon. But I'm assuming it was just a fight. Ah. Did he school you? I'll find out. In time. Not now yet.
You get it.
Don't know yet. Well, right now I'm trying out Biomutant. So you do. Yeah, let's do that. Just started. Like the little dude I made. There's some pre-customization. Like when it's you know, there's some customization options. Like you can choose how your skill. The first thing you do is choose your race. Then you can choose your stats, which then affects how your character looks a little. Um, I am something a mutant. That's the best thing. My character looks like a little ratty thing. Yep, I already created my character. But you can look at earlier in my stream to see how I created my character. But yeah, then you choose your class, then you choose like your fur pattern, then you choose like the detail color and then the accent color. Yeah, a little bit. And then, oh yeah, you choose your elemental resistance. Yeah. I chose between ice and biohazard. It's also toxic. I mean radioactive.
Oh, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight.
Yeah, I got a crowbar. It's called a claw bar. Now I gotta learn, like, try out my skill with a range attack. What's the name of the skill I got? Yep, that was it. Okay. Oh, nice. Hmm.
Yeah, I was playing it earlier today, but
Oh,
I got distracted with this.
so you did buy it. I couldn't make the mercenary. I don't think they gave me my DLC or something.
Did you not pre-order it?
Oh, I pre-ordered it a while back, so there was no excuse why it wasn't there.
Double check your or your
Oh yeah,
well, technically it wouldn't be under DLCs, but yeah, check that.
I managed my game content. I just downloaded it. It don't matter anyway. I went sci-free.
Yeah, I'm excited. The dual wielding. The only difference for that class is that unlike the actual dual wielder, the mercenary gets a actual melee buff.
Ah.
The actual dual wielder is dodging.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, I dodge.
Yeah. Me, I went sci-freak. I wanted some special powers.
Yeah, I just went with the mercenary because I didn't. It's like if I'm gonna fucking get the pre-order, might as well use the mercenary.
Yep.
This game is good enough. I'll make any different class.
That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy.
The problem is it has to be good enough for me to want to do that. But
Whoa!
yeah, because I got that problem, I'm
It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it.
with discount off that game.
Yep.
I have $20 points, or I can just use my points for the next DLC that's about to come out.
True.
The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Not enough key energy. Upshot.
Oh shit! Ah shit! Fuck you.
Lit.
Oh yeah. Y'all ready for Thursday? Y'all ready for Thursday? Horizon Zero Dawn. State of play. Okay. Because you want to play that game on the PS5. Mm-hmm. Yep. They're a publisher. They're a their THQ Nordic is a publisher. This developer is probably more of an indie. There are certain properties from THQ Nordic that would have probably been made into a PS5 game if it was coming out now, but it's definitely not this new property that no one knows if it's going to turn out good. Is it going to scratch that itch some people need? Master of none. Mm-hmm.
Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it
Mm-hmm.
too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind.
Yeah. Well, to save myself, I better go watching. I better go play that later. It should have been updating. Like it was updating this morning.
When you turned on your system.
Yep.
Make sure it's fully updated because Cisco had that whole problem.
Yeah, but it prompted this morning. Though at the same time on Twitter, it was hearing like the maintenance not done.
It wasn't off now. Run, Groot. 9:56. Now there's children in the road.
Okay, what am I doing here?
The little boy with the mullet. I love the fact that
There are few records of the chain of events that led to the
They could
big
just be country.
apocalypse eons ago. But it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
But yeah, to be honest, there's a few things being done this week, though most of it probably y'all don't give a fuck, so I won't talk about it.
The sound of spark metal going pew pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go.
I chose intellect and my beginning thing, slider, I should say.
Intellect and agility for me.
Stupid, but then I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, that Cisco.
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Finally, some action. Kill that. Your key energy is all used up. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma.
My Muma.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Oh, God!
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the Unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Yeah.
The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life,
I've gotten used to narrators because of things like Bastion and Transistor. But he was cool. Oh, see me as a kid. Am I gonna see my Muma? Oh.
Asks if you were tired, as
What
it's
the fuck are you?
He wonders if your Muma knows you are here.
It's like a bootleg Elvis. I know.
You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and...
I don't mind learning something like this whole semi-indie game.
Yeah. Yeah. They're the one. Aren't they the ones who did the recent Dark Riders?
You found one. You should be proud.
I think the third one was done by them.
The Nono's key energy is
Basically.
just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends on it. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy.
Yeah. Well, capitalism, man. Well, when you think about like the goal of a company is to make profit, no matter what its cost, as long as the cost isn't on them.
He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so countless. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree.
The last of the two donuts, the cupcakes I bought a long time
Oh.
ago.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. This one, chocolate.
Ooh, that looks nice. Got my fork. I'm gonna take a bite of that.
Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, from this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did good? No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but
Oh,
now
shit!
he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eaters.
Who are the World Eaters?
His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the Porky Puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast that took his leg. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eater. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters.
The adventure begins.
A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see.
is that 194 is right.
Yeah, I have Thursday off now. Yay, I get to work from home. No. I like the little, I guess, conscience. My conscience is my little good and evil thing. Oh God, what the fuck is that thing?
That must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg.
That's a
They
fucking.
had tricked
What
the
the
whole land
fuck?
down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time.
Okay, I just saw World Eater.
That's not
Fuck.
the first nor the last image it'll leave in its wake.
Yeah. Great. I'm guessing they each look different. Am I fighting Colossi?
A survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
Well, I get the feeling at the end I'm gonna turn into a fucking World Eater.
He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World
Yep.
Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here.
I'm trying to be good. Oh. I'm doing it for my moo mom and Elvis. Oh what? What? The first one? Yep. Because everybody wants to kill you. I find the best good and evil route was Infamous 2. Like I loved it, and I loved how they flipped. I loved how they flipped the script at the end. The character that's supposed to be your angel chose to do the evil thing, and the person who'd been your devil chose to do the good thing. The motivation made sense. It's like, why the fuck would I go with the person, the thing that killed my shit? I'm gonna kill the shit. I do not know why they moved past that series. Yeah, they haven't touched. Like the only reason we got the Sly Cooper HD collection back on the PS3 was from Sensoro Games, which was a small like indie company that wanted to like do Sly Cooper. So they let them handle the HD, and then it grew from there. Now that company is an impossibility now because now it's a small company owned by Facebook. So the chance of
Company did the Crash and Spyro thing.
that would be Activision or some form of Activision.
Yeah, but it wasn't them. It was they're the ones who supplied the money. It was like Monster Toys or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think though the fear of them is like they might end up um, Activision might end up making them do some other shit. Like let's put them on Call of Duty for some stupid ass reason. Because every studio must be Call of Duty. Soon,
Well,
Blizzard will be Call of Duty.
hey, Infamous is a shooter.
Yeah, but essentially that company I assume is currently owned by Activision. Because Activision rarely works with third-party developers too often. Platinum was like the last ones they ever dealt with, and I'm not sure if Naughty Dog had a hand in uh, Crash Bandicoot, at least the first one, the first HD collection.
No, they didn't. I need the boxes for it.
Ah, but yeah, but essentially,
That's legit. Anyone like reimagined remasters have been from a third party.
yeah. Though the way it sounds,
They have not been from the original developer.
yeah. Though it sounds like the people who do, who've been doing a lot of the PlayStation shit, may eventually become a first-party company.
All I know is if they would remaster or remake, don't care which one, Legend of Dragoon, and they somehow added voice acting, but then I would miss the double slash sweaty and Frost. Their reaction. Oh no! What was it? Typhoon something?
He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart.
Be right back. Correct. PS1 game. With 3D? 4.
Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by... He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
I see a certain spot where you're going to be a dick.
That's a spark of light in you!
Oh God! Like it's I just these little flying things.
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
I like that it's not just the narrator. We have these little things. In a side point, use it to unlock powers in the mutations menu. Some powers are locked by the aura score, meaning that your side points can only unlock powers of the same color as your current aura are those without color. So, Jedi's.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni. He believes the tribe Sifu's, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. He can sense you share Myriad's view on the world. The Myriad would embrace someone willing to fight. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of... Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the city...
It started with a Y-U-N in there.
I played with him.
Wait, wasn't his name June?
Huh?
Was his name June, though? I think his name was June. Either way, again, shifted. Yeah, when you got her in your party, she was obsolete. It's like, your story means nothing to me anymore. It's all about her and what's wrong with Maxwell. That's what my problem is. Like, Maxwell, what is the story behind this Mila Maxwell? Like, oh, I want to be a doctor. Cool. What about her? But I can't wait till Tales of Arise. Oh. Said 8, right? Yeah. 8's the big. And I already bought the collector's edition, so I'm getting my nice little figure. It was the first time I ever actually bought something from Bandai Namco themselves. Right? But they're the only ones that were selling the collector's edition. Everyone else was just, oh, we're only selling the standard shit or the digital deluxe edition. I'm like, I want that. I want my figure. But it is a exclusive to Bandai Namco, which tells me that Scarlet Nexus collector's edition is also exclusive to. That's why we only got the digital deluxe and standard edition free. Yet it's hilarious to realize that Tales of Arise has standard, deluxe, and ultra deluxe. Just $110.
Ooh. So I have a blaze attack I can use, or blink. So telekinesis is for the dark aura. Oh shit, Sky Spark. You're gonna have a nice ability.
No, you're looking at all my small stuff.
Yeah. Like, wow, this is. I actually find this interesting. You know how in Star Wars the dark side gets like the lightning. In this, the light has the lightning attack essentially. But y'all have literally like a giant death beam of darkness as an attack. So yeah, that's probably seems more darker.
No, no, this is the thing. So I told you that we're gonna go to the other side of the tunnel, right?
Yep.
What do you mind doing? Power.
Yep.
I might be nice if oh, sorry.
It's like you're part of a tribe. I hate you. You die.
Oh, did we get shit? Okay.
But it doesn't help that the people of the Light tribe, and this is going to sound really racist because it's racist. They're more Arab, so it kind of bothers me. It's like, wait, so they chose the side that seems to be more praise Allah and blow themselves up is the peaceful one,
And
but it makes sense that the other side is
a warlord?
military type.
Well, if you look at it, like another dark side is basically, I would say, an American soldier. Uh, another dark side is looks like a, I can't really say, maybe a spaceman, something. I don't know. His outfit's weird. One
Like,
one light side is like a football player. He has a football helmet. Another one looks like straight out of like a a smuggler from like Star Wars. That's one of the good people, and then you have the Arab dude.
got the Arab guy for the light side, which again, racist to say, but like,
He was dark?
No, because
well,
Christianity didn't come and fuck
sorry,
them up.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be?
Christianity wants to destroy everything.
Yeah, do you remember the old times when Christianity was pretty like fucked up the whole Muslim country, and then you go back to it, it's like, nah, nah, we want like the Nazi system back.
And it was like we already stole everything, so
It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded.
yeah, and we're like we're willing to break in and steal a bunch of shit, but trying to control some land where y'all gonna fight to the death for? Yeah, we ain't that stupid.
The whole of Israel and back and forth. Back and forth.
Yeah, but that came later, and they were given guns.
Right. Who am I?
Yep. Like, I realized that we're doomed. We're basically doomed. The water wars will come. Yeah. You do know there's a good chunk of places in the world, even in America, where there is a growing water scarcity. And guess who got all the bombs to secure the water supplies in more developing countries? We're just helping you and skimming some off the top. You know, saying,
This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone.
no, you're not. He's a capitalist, just like most Democrats. Like, our whole politician thing is just that way. Because they were trying to turn the more liberal Democrat voters against him, and hoping that they would do what they did previously, where it's like, I'm gonna vote for a dead ape to spite this person. I will never, I will never forget that. Like, at least vote for a living gorilla. I'm not saying she would have did, much better, but at least we wouldn't have been hearing on Twitter all the damn time.
Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know.
Yeah, vote for something alive at least, because then it'll be very interesting if if that ever did happen. It was like, sir, like sirs, the person who run the vote was an actual donkey. The American people trust an actual donkey more than any one of y'all.
Let's see.
Well, recent patches.
It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says everyone wants to see.
I think he's supposed to be more of a sheik.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm talking to the Sifu of the Myriad, and I'm able to make a decision that I'll join them. And it's telling me that a little bit about them, but then it's telling me that warning sets the game end goal to save the Tree of Life. Choosing destiny for defeated rivals, Sifus is limited to unite or subdue.
Yep. While my side will most likely be locked to kill,
Or dominate,
maybe something make them work under me.
or enslave, or some shit.
Right.
Well, it'll be interesting.
It'll be. I have a feeling that it's going to have the kill option and somehow keep them alive option.
Yep.
I think both sides have that because your subdue is just an easier way of saying, "Hey, I'm going to beat the shit out of you."
And we're gonna lock you up.
He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should... The Myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose, chosen to unite the tribes and take control of their destiny. The tribes need a... Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their... He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts, and once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. You were all part of the same tribe once, but without your Muma there as a guide, seeing you brings back his memory. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost, even though it's now a different place from a